This is Feature Mind. So B.o.B has now came forward and revealed if he still is a flat earther.
Yeah.
I remember, seeing your name when people were talking about you because, you had your own views. You talked about, flat earth and Apollo 11 and these things and having your own opinions. Did you expect to get the traction that it did? Like where people were talking about it and it going viral.
Right.
Did you expect that?
No, I had no idea about the virality of, I really didn't think anybody cared really, you know what I mean? I kind of compare it to like people talking about like Bigfoot or
was it Loch Ness Monster or
Loch
whatever?
Ness
Yeah.
Monster, UFOs, a lot of these things, which I feel like have some type of, some stuff is like lore, some stuff is conspiracy, but some stuff has some valid connection to whatever culture, you know what I mean? But definitely had no idea that it would be so controversial.
Yes.
It's always like you hear about, what is it, politics, religion, and something is a lightning rod.
Right.
Didn't know space was a part of that.
Didn't know we were going to go there. How did you realize, oh man, people got a lot to say? Like, did anybody call you and say, Bob, do you see what's going on? What are you talking about right now? It is got the internet going.
Yeah, like I really didn't understand. Like that was like a blind spot for me. I was like, yo,
Really?
what, like, people wouldn't. It was certain venues that wouldn't let me perform
Because
at
of
the venue.
that?
Oh yeah, like it was, yeah. Like it's real. Like it was so real. I mean, I imagine like,
Wow, I didn't think it got like that. I was just thinking like internet, people are like, hey, you said this. People are talking about it, but I didn't think it was going to hinder your livelihood.
well, I mean, I imagine
That's
like,
disappointing.
well, I guess it's like, I imagine like if I said the sky was purple, I'm not sure they would get a meteorologist to come on national TV and address and say the sky's not purple.
Right.
But it must have been something. It must have been worth something. It must have meant something
Interesting.
if it requires such a response. If it garners such a response, it's probably something.
Interesting. I didn't know that like venues
Yeah.
would not book you or cancel bookings or whatever
They were
it is.
concerned about the controversy of, yeah.
Interesting. And do you still hold true to those views, or have you had discussions? Are you in the middle? Like, are you like, I'm gonna do some more research on it? Do you feel like the internet helped or hurt or made it worse? Like it made you be like, you know what, I'm gonna go harder, or you know what, let me see what you're talking about.
Some people a lot of celebrities and artists actually reached out to me when all that came out. And I don't know, I'm so beyond that argument. I feel like it really doesn't matter if it's shaped like a U or a V or you know what I'm saying? Like I'm trying to make sure my people are good, my family's straight. My son has a promising future.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Damn, I
Yeah.
really didn't know like the venue, like that is actually really sad to me. Like when I see that, you even have posted about, this was in 2015, that there's a ban on you and that people are scared that if you get too much exposure. And when people say I'm underrated or slept on, it's not entirely the case. Suppressed is a better word.
damn, I was cooking like that back in 2015.
Suppressed. I was like, oh my gosh. And it was all my social media outlets are heavily monitored. My reach is crippled. Do you believe, well, I believe like if that's what you felt, especially at that time, do you believe it still is going on?
Well, I mean, what I was experiencing then was
Right.
the algorithm, but those words didn't exist then. So I was saying like shadow ban, and people were like, what do you mean? You're not shadow ban. I'm like, nah. Now people like, yo, you got to do this to reach the algorithm. You know what I mean? So it's just before, I was just ahead of my time.
So B.o.B first kicked off his flat earth ideas a few years ago. I don't exactly remember what year it was, but it was pretty early on in the flat earth movement. Flat earth itself is about 10 years old when it comes to flat earth 2.0. It really started around, let's say, about 2015. So B.o.B, I think he came out about maybe 2019 or something, and he revealed that he's a flat earther, and it pretty much went viral. And B.o.B admits that a lot of celebrities reached out, and even Wits It Gets It had admitted that B.o.B's the one that brought him into the flat earth, from what it sounds like. I mean, I heard him on an interview, Wits It Gets It, saying that he credits B.o.B for his decision to look into the flat earth, and he started looking into it and became a flat earther after that. So it really affected a lot of people when B.o.B spoke out, and then he went pretty quiet after that. So before he went quiet, he had a few interviews, and it didn't seem like he really knew how to articulate it as well as maybe some of the experts of flat earth today, but he had the basics down, and he even made a whole mixtape about it where he was rapping about the flat earth. And so yeah, he was pretty influential when it came to the flat earth movement. And in his newest interview, he reveals his latest thoughts on it. The interviewer was pressing him on, what was up with that whole flat earth thing, and he said, yeah, well, he admits that it really negatively affected his career. He said basically that he was shut out from some venues, so he wasn't able to perform some shows due to his flat earth beliefs, and he really feels like it was affecting his career. He said that he felt like he was shadow banned, and he felt like basically his career was negatively impacted by his statements on the flat earth. And so he said a lot of celebrities had reached out to him and wanted to know more information, and so he was forced to defend the flat earth and become the face of the flat earth. He said he didn't know it was going to be like that. He said he thought it was just something he was saying. He didn't understand that it was going to have such an impact on him. So when it started affecting his career, he kind of went quiet on it for a long time. He took a hiatus from talking about it, and he basically just tried to move past it and not bring it up anymore. And this was the industry basically forcing him to not talk about it. So the whole industry sounds like it came down on him. If they're able to block his shows and affect his ability to make income from his career, well, that to me sounds like the powers that be got involved, and they were trying to shut him down basically for speaking out. And B.o.B, in his newest interview, he went on to say that basically, he's saying if he would have said the sky was purple or something, would you have a meteorologist come out and say, no, the sky's actually blue and this is why it's blue? And, so he's saying it was kind of interesting that he got such a response. He wasn't expecting it. He said basically, like, with the response he got, it kind of threw him off because he wasn't expecting pretty much everyone to turn on him and his career to be affected. He wasn't expecting all that just by one of his beliefs. He was just saying it was just a belief that he had, and it didn't really require such backlash for him to simply say the earth is flat. He said he didn't think it was that big of a deal, and he said there must be something to it because of the response. And so the response he got really confirmed his suspicions about the earth. He's saying when he saw that response that he got just by speaking out, he really said that made him believe more that the earth is flat. Because why would you have this much of a response just by something you believe? Why would the reaction be like that? So this is what he was saying in his newest interview. When the interviewer went on to ask him, does he still believe in the flat earth? He now is hesitant to confirm or deny that he is a flat earther. He kind of said, well, he said it really doesn't matter anymore. He's saying he kind of moved past that whole thing. So he's saying it doesn't really matter if the earth is shaped like a U or a V or anything like that. He's saying basically that he's not going to get into this again. He already stepped in it once, and he's not going to step in it again. So to me, it's sounding like B.o.B is basically hesitant to admit he's a flat earther anymore just because of how it affected his career last time. So now he's not going to step into that again, and he's going to make sure that he doesn't speak out like that, because we see what happens with celebrities speak out like that, because the powers that be know these celebrities have influence. And when celebrities become woke, and I'm not talking about woke in the way that they talk about it politically, I'm talking about when you become awakened and enlightened, which would be the better word. It seems like if you start to speak out with your enlightenment, the powers that be can sometimes try to shut you down. Now, I've seen Terrence Howard. He's came forward recently, and he's all of a sudden seems to be pretty enlightened in the things he's saying. So he has a lot to say about a lot of his thoughts and ideas, and I'm not so sure the industry takes a liking to that type of stuff. And so to me, it sounds to me like B.o.B is most likely still a flat earther, although he hasn't admitted it. But I would suspect he's still a flat earther. He just doesn't want to take a chance with speaking out publicly about it anymore, because he's afraid of what might happen to his career if he speaks out that way again. And you know, most people learn from their mistakes, especially if it's affecting the amount of income you're able to bring in. And like B.o.B said, he wants to focus on being able to support his family, and so he needs to focus on being able to generate income, and he doesn't want his career to be affected like it was when he first talked about flat earth. So he knows that it has pretty much blown over now with his original statements about the flat earth. And that's how the media works usually with celebrities, is when things happen in the media, usually people will forget within a few weeks or maybe sometimes a few months, and the celebrity can usually move on with their life after that initial media storm. Because when they first speak on a subject that's controversial, it can go pretty viral pretty quick, and then it kind of burns out after a while, and the celebrity can get kind of back to a normal life. So right now, B.o.B seems to be back in a point where he can now focus on his music and his career again, and doesn't sound like he's willing to confirm or deny whether he's a flat earther or not at this moment. So I just wanted to bring you this update on B.o.B, and let me know what you think about it in the comments section. I'm going to leave some links for you if you want to sign up to my free email newsletters, or check out my Feed Your Mind store, or check out my social media, or anything like that. Also, if you would like to support this channel, please donate as little as $1 to help keep this channel online by becoming a YouTube member or a monthly patron. There's also a thank you button in the comment section. So thanks for tuning in. Let's get over 500 likes on this video. This has been Feed Your Mind, signing off.